That was David Love 3. And he lead for just about 110 points. This is 134 points. So it's a major lead for Jim Herman. And of course, a record there for golf fans to follow. But not just the points. Here you find out that he's had to make some money as well because, like you mentioned there, he's feeling satisfied. This was a man that was preparing to go home, at the weekend after this tour, hoping to take a higher cab and travel all the way to Houston, about a 10 hours drive.
Yeah.
But now he will have to go to Boston and not just going back to enjoy the tournament more in the Fed Cup. He will be making out of the purse money of about $6.4 million US. He will be taking home about 1.1 million.
That's good.
That's a lot of money. 1.1 million US for him, and is really, really good. Some say in golf that, or generally in sports, it's either you go hard or you go home.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, Jim Herman really went hard by leaping 134 spots from 495 to 54. And of course, he's gone hard with a 1.1 million US credit balance.
Yes. He has really done justice. All right, away from golf now, let's go straight to Formula One, where Lewis Hamilton made me smile. He said he's feeling so humbled and honored to have broken Schumacher's F1 record.
Well, this is a wonderful weekend for Lewis Hamilton.
The master of Black Lives Matter.
I can tell you, he's done so well for himself.
That's it on screen. Yes. Black Lives Matter.
After 66 laps in the very hot weather in Barcelona, it was almost about 50 degrees centigrade in Barcelona. And we can completely describe the race, the sixth race of the Formula One season, as that of Lewis Hamilton living in his own world. A whole lot, but I'll quickly bring you some highlights of what happened at the Barcelona Open there. We saw the return of first of all, we saw Max Verstappen, separate the two Mercedes. He came third, he came second. We had Lewis Hamilton first, Max Verstappen of Red Bull in the second position, separating him and Bottas in the third. So for once, we could see a splitting of the Mercedes drivers.
Partners,
Yes, and beyond that, we saw the return of Sergio Perez. You remember him, he had coronavirus some time ago, so he was off 2 races. He's back to this race, and he came fourth. But because of his ignoring the blue flag, he was fined a 5-second penalty, and so he could not maintain his fourth position. He had to, because of the 5 penalty position, he now came fifth in the race. So I think it was a very good one. And of course, Charles Leclerc, remember him for Ferrari, the Ferrari driver. Yeah. I think lap 36, his engine went off. He could not start. He tried to start it. It came on. He used it from 36 to the 38 lap. He still went back and he could no longer start it, and so he was retired from the game completely. And I don't think any driver wants to retire from a race like that. And of course, remember Sebastian Vettel. He is not having a very good season, if you ask me. But at the qualifying, he was somewhere around the 11th position. But at the end of this race, he came all the way to the 7th position. So we want to ask what could be happening to Sebastian Vettel that needs to be doing so well, because he's getting out of the business very soon, as he doesn't have a contract at the end of the season. But away from that, it was Lewis Hamilton's wall, I must tell you.
Yeah.
Because this was his 91 pole position. This was a race where he was ahead of his closest rival by 24 seconds. And of course, if you drive in Formula One and you're having a gap somebody or give a difference of 24 seconds, that's a lot of distance covered there. And of course, like I said, he's gotten his 91 win from pole position. So clearly from lap 1 to lap 66, he was ahead of every other driver there. And of course, he's made a lot for himself now. I can tell you, in the 256 races so far, he's now gotten more than Michael Schumacher, the legendary driver, because he now has 156 podium finish in Formula One. Before this time we had the record at 155, but now he surpassed that record at 156. So I think it's a very good one for him there.
Kudos to him.
Career wins, he had 91 career wins. So I think it's a very good one, and we hope that in the by the end of September he'll be able to eclipse Michael Schumacher's 91 career wins in golf. And of course, clearly, you can see the man that is coming to become the next most successful driver.
Yeah, congratulations.
4 wins out of 6 races so far this year. He has another 8 or 13 more races to make, and I'm very sure he will definitely turn out to be, this season will be Lewis Hamilton's season, and of course he could be, in my own words, the best driver in Formula One history.
Yeah, congratulations to Lewis Hamilton there. I am so happy for him, most especially the way he drives and goes about, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement.
Oh, exactly.
Kudos to him. Now, away from that, now let's go straight to tennis. Simona Halep has actually been in the news for quite a while now, and we've actually here on Sports Bleep at Salvation TV talked about her a couple of times, and now she wins the Prague Open.
Yeah, I think she's getting ready for what should be her top. This is her second win. You know, in fact, she nicked this one in just about an hour, 33 minutes, and he had a 2-set victory over her opponent, and of course, in getting her 21st career title in tennis. But like you said, we've talked a lot about her here, and we are expecting that any moment between now and the end of today, she should be announcing whether she'll be part of the US Open. Earlier, she has said she will not be part of it. Okay. But after this Prague win, she's opened up to say she wants to. She now knows that the quarantine regulations could be relaxed between when you leave Europe to America, and you don't need to enter into another round of quarantine. And so she needs up to the end of today to announce whether she will be part of the US Open. We need to see her.
Talking about the US Open, Mr. Siri, right. Sorry to cut you. Kei Nishikori tested positive. Now, I've always said that I'm having doubts that this US Open is going to hold, because a lot of stars keep, you know, falling sick here and there, contracting the COVID-19.
No, I'm very sure the US Open will hold. A lot of players have entered, and it's just about 2 weeks or so to the beginning of the US Open. It will open. But talking about Kei Nishikori, Japanese player there, world number 4, he's had some issues around. He had, actually, for him, it's very funny because he's been in Florida, venue of the events in America there, and of course you are sure that in Flushing Meadows in New York, that's where the US Open will take place. He's had to stay back in Florida, and he wanted to go and take part in the Cincinnati Open, that is the Western and Southern Open, which starts tomorrow, where it's like a warm-up before the US Open.
Okay.
And he had to do a test, only for him to discover that he had coronavirus. He's well, no doubt, but because of the test where he's positive, he's had to cancel. He's no longer traveling from Florida to the Flushing Meadows, that's in New York, which is the venue of it. Because you understand, there's a bubble. That same venue to be used for the Western Open is the same place where the US Open will take place. So he's no longer going. He will have to isolate for another 10 or 14 days. If it's okay, definitely he will be part of the US Open. But I think you are aware that nearly 170,000 persons has died in the United States of America.
Yeah.
You know, so I think he has a reason to be careful, and we just hope that he'll be fine. He's 30 years of age, so I don't see him having any problem. And of course, he's not showing any serious sign of ailment. So with self-isolation and treatment, I'm very sure he should be able to join the US Open, but he can no longer be part of tomorrow's event at the Southern and Western Open, which gets started with a lot of players, you know, taking part of. We have Serena Williams and the rest taking part. So I'm very sure the US Open, there's no fears. It will be open, but 1 or 2 players will not be part of it. Yeah. And of course, it does happen sometimes, especially in this period of pandemic. Okay, now let's go straight to basketball. Mr. Siri, I would like for you to give us, within just 2 minutes, because we don't have a lot of time, give us a little rundown of the battles going on over there at Disney. Well, I think you are aware that the scrimmages have all finished, that the 3 of them. We have now finished with the seeding games. We now have 8 teams in the Western Conference and 8 in the Eastern Conference. All of them will have to play a game of a 7-series game, and thereafter they'll qualify for the quarterfinals, and of course see how they get through to the NBA season, which it still has some long way to go. But now is the seeding games, and of course it's an exciting moment because at least the Nigerian contingent of Gani, Adetokunbo, and of course Victor Oladapo of Indiana Pacers have all qualified, and so we're looking forward to seeing them. But don't take anything away from the player of the tournament, the most valuable player of the seeding games. You remember him? What is his name now? Damian Lillard. He's been fantastic because he has had to make about 54 out of 150, throws in from 30 feet.
That's massive.
Massive.
That's
one.
massive.
And so we're looking forward to see what he can do. And of course, Houston record had James Harden as well. You know, getting ready. Don't forget that your main man LeBron James.
LeBron.
He's the first player to post about 25 points and about 10 rebounds at the age of 30. This is the first time you can see a 30-year-old player in the NBA post 25 rebounds,
wow.
an average of 25 rebounds and 10 assists. So we are looking forward to exciting fixtures. There are about 2 fixtures coming up later tonight, 4 fixtures so to say, and we'll follow them up. But like I said, we are now in the 7th series, heading towards teams that will get to the round of it. So let's see which of the 16 teams now. We'll see which 8 will drop for the next 8 to continue.
All right, viewers, let's go straight now into football, where we have a lot of exciting stories to dish out to you. Now, we'll be starting with CAF now. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, have announced the postponement of the qualifier games of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup at Costa Rica and Panama. Mr. Siri, this one is actually good for us because over here in Nigeria, we don't even, our female teams don't even have a coach, most especially this Under-20.
I don't think it's good for us because it's definitely the fixtures will come. They will fix a date. And of course, it will not be too far away from when the original fixtures were supposed to be.
But we don't have a coach.
But we've heard from last week or so that the Nigerian Football Federation have made contact with top club coaches to engage. We hope they can do that fast and let the coach come and, of course, look out for players that he or she will work with, and of course get the team ready. But if we think that because there have been no date for now, and that so we can afford to dilly-dally, then we'll be shooting ourselves in the foot because the competition will definitely hold. It's just about trying to find an appropriate time for the fixture. And so Amaju Pinnick and his executive committee definitely must engage the coach now, and of course get ready for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup.
All right, and let's away from that now. Let's go straight into the fact that John Obi Mikel, I think sometime right now he should be somewhere in Stoke City in England and negotiating or either signing for Stoke City, the championship side in England. What do you think? Retrogression or progression?
Well, you won't completely say retrogression because of his age. You know, he's clearly not a very young football player.
Yeah.
But one thing you cannot take away from John Mikel Obi is the fact that he's one player around the world who has taken part in all FIFA tournaments, right from Confederation Cup to Under-17, Under-20, Under-23, you know, playing for the national team. He's played at all types of competitions, about 11 competitions organized by FIFA. He's taken part, including the FIFA, what they call it now, Confederation Cup. Yes, so he's a very experienced player. He's been to England before. This is not his first time of playing in England.
Not at all.
So he understands his limitations because of age. You know, he will have to now play slowly from the championship where Stoke is playing. But he's been to Asia as well. And so he's one most accomplished player Nigeria has. And we hope that he will make a lot of money trying to retire playing for Stoke City in England.
All right, now let's come back home now, finally, before we go straight to Europe, where Heartland Football Club of Owerri have their players being owed 8 months' salary. We really don't want to be hearing things like this as it saddens our hearts. It's really a thing of sadness where a particular individual or group of individuals work for about 8 months and not being paid, Mr. Siri. This is so sad.
Disturbing, and of course not worth hearing about a professional league side. Yes, we understand in a couple of climes players could be owed maybe 1 month, 2 months, some owed weeks, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, but not 2 months, 3 months, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's quite a lot, and it looks as if the club ordinarily should go into to liquidation, because a situation where we have government overbearing influence on the club side. When there's a change of government, you see a situation where maybe the government that is coming new or taking over believes there have been some kind of deals and either they don't have the favor, so they blank out with funding the team. And this is the kind of thing that happens. So I think the government of Imo State must do their very best and ensure that football continues in Imo State. And of course, Heartland FC, one of the notable teams you can find.
Yeah, formerly Iwenwu National.
And so, and this is one team that normally before this time is well funded.
Yeah.
So I think it will be disgraceful if at the end of the day the league management company, if they are serious, cannot register Heartland FC, because one of the rules for the licensing rule is that you must show evidence that you can pay your players.
Yes.
And if you have not paid your players for 8 months, it will be out of this world. And I think some of us will be looking strongly at it if the league management company will register Heartland FC in the end of their competition, because they have not met the request standard for registration. So I think it behoves on the government of Imo State to do their very best to clear up the backlog of salaries and ensure that the team is not owed going forward. And
a couple of weeks ago, I think a week or two ago, we heard about the female team over there across River State being owed over 12 months' salary. Do we continue to hear things like this?
That's what you continue to hear it as long as government's overbearing influence is on the teams. If the teams are run either semi-professionally or professionally, then you won't find stories like this. But when it has to do with government, then government do not attach much importance to sports. We will see it as one of those things. And so if they are being distressed, especially in this period of pandemic, I talked about it last time, that in this period of pandemic, most clubs will not find the kind of resources they've had in the past. And if there is going to be cut, then the area of football will be, or sports generally, will be one of the areas that will feel the impact of the pandemic here in Nigeria, because it's all government sponsored. So I think we have to change our attitude in the way we see sports in the country. And of course, government across board must change their look, the way they feel or they see sports. Sports must be seen as either professional or semi-professional. And if we do that, then we believe players will be paid as when due.
All right, talking about Heartland of Owerri right now, the players have tried, they've played football as of last season, and they ought to be paid. They deserve their salaries being paid to them. I just trust that the governor of Imo State or top government functionaries over there at Imo State are listening to us right now. Please come to the aid of these young lads and pay them their salaries. They deserve it, because of course I'm going to see how I can send a WhatsApp message across to the president of the LMC and ask him if he thinks, because they are not supposed to be registered in the league, and this disqualifies them from participating in the league for next season. So let them just do what's necessary, what's needful, and pay up what they owe the players. All right, away from that now, let's go straight to the UEFA Champions League. Now, before we go, there's a video I personally asked a couple of members of the Sports Bleep crew to send videos across to me, airing their views with regards to the games of the UEFA Champions League. And Christian Peters sent me a video of that of Manchester City and Lyon. Let's hear what he has. Let's hear what he has to say.
First, it's unfortunate that we are not seeing any English team, both in the Champions League and the Europa League for now. The Spanish team should enjoy, and also the German team should enjoy. For Man City, sorry for them that they were not able to, to win a team like Bayern, a team like Lyon. I mean, and Lyon did their best. They did their best, and I think it was actually from Pep Guardiola. I will blame Pep Guardiola, because you don't start from 3 defenders to play against Lyon. And also, this to tell you that the French team, they are actually prepared. Their league ended since, so that means they have been playing a secondary school game, a secondary school football, friendlies, and all that. And PSG were able to win Atlanta, and now it is Lyon, causing another upset, winning Manchester City. I think, man, is actually one of those things that we have to see. For how many years now, Pep Guardiola have not crossed in the quarter final. He has not crossed in the quarter final from Bayern until Man City. For how many seasons he has spent a lot of money, more than 900 and something million pounds. Come on, let's still give kudos to Lyon. They did their best. Let's see how they're going to face Bayern Munich.
All right, Mr. Siri, now we've heard from Christian Peters, the top-notch sports analyst and a member of Sports Bleep crew. Pep Guardiola has spent a lot of money. Kylian Mbappe made a statement a couple of days ago that the Farmers League are actually thriving right now. You know where that statement came from, that, you know, the French Ligue 1, there used to be the French Ligue 1 and the Italian Serie A, that they are like a farmland where just Juventus goes to farm and harvest, where PSG goes to farm and harvest. But now Kylian Mbappe has responded that the Farmers League are actually thriving, because now you have two French leagues club sides, you know, at the UEFA Champions League semi-finals, and you know, this is so shocking actually.
Well, I think the pedigree of which league you're playing in has been demystified right now.
Yes.
You know, from what we have seen here, if you can find a team who is just about 11 years old in the semi-final of the Champions League, then you understand that it's not about where you're playing or how long you have been playing. It's about what you deliver in 90 minutes. Interestingly, we're not having 180 minutes return leg games in this year's UEFA Champions League, but I think Pep Guardiola, I say, he will have to reassess himself.
Yeah, I think so.
He was actually brought into Man City to win the Champions League.
I think he should be. We should call him a failure this season.
Well, if not, if you know that he's not got into the semi-final stage of the Champions League, he's all been around 16, and of course quarter-final. He's not moved to the semi-final, especially with Man City. Well, he did that with Barcelona, you know, but Bayern Munich,
Xavi Hernandez and Iniesta and the rest of them.
know, so I think he has to check himself. He's reported to have spent about close to about 600 million pounds, you know, trying to assemble a team that will win the Champions League. He's not been able to do that, and so you do not completely now say because you're playing the English Premier League in England, and so you have to look down on what happens in the French league. The PSG, like we said, they looked at it from the farmer's point of view, but they get the result done. They have 3 titles, the trophies already this season on the local scene, and they are in the semi-final.
They are pursuing the Champions League.
And they're pursuing the Champions League. So I think it's a good one for them, and we must learn to respect the players and know that football is about 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not about how many trophies you've had or who is the player on the pitch. We've seen a situation where a team unit, you know, has won games, not about where we have star players. So I strongly believe that, especially in this season where we have only 90 minutes to decide your fate, it is the form of the players on showcase at that point in time, and of course the outlook of the coach. Yes, you cannot completely blame Pep Guardiola. What was Sterling doing? You saw him.
Yeah, the one-on-one. The goalkeeper wasn't there on the net.
Of course, we saw the highly priced goalkeeper from Brazil,
Anderson,
you know, dropping the ball.
You don't need Pep Guardiola to come catch the ball for you at that point.
So I think the players let him down, and you cannot completely crucify him. The players, I think, in my opinion.
Let's crucify him, Mr. Siri. We've been praising him before. All right, away from that, now we don't have a lot of time now. Talking about Manchester United versus Sevilla, I asked Soso Bob Manuel, the CEO of Soso Bob Manuel Foundation, to actually send me a video, because he is a member of Sports Bleep crew and as well as a Man U bona fide fan. So let's hear what he has to say about that particular loss of his team.
All right. Good evening once again, and it's your boy Soso Bob Manuel, founder of Soso Bob Manuel Foundation, bringing you, as usual, everything basketball. But for today, I will not be talking about basketball. My good friend Prince has asked me to see if I can analyze objectively, he used the word objectively, what happened between Man United and Sevilla in the Europa League. Now, see if I can do this as brief as possible. First things first, I think Solskjaer, maybe there's a mental block, and immediately after he passed that mental block, he just shut down. That's my belief, because I believe it starts from the coach. He did a good job of getting them into the Champions League, even finishing third. So I think that was, to them, their biggest achievement. And the reason they were taking the Europa League serious was just so they could make it to the Champions League. Now, fast forward to the game against Sevilla. First things first, after Copenhagen, they were not themselves. In fact, before Copenhagen, they were not themselves. We all saw the lackluster performance. They had to rely on Bruno Penalty again. That's, as they started calling him, Bruno Fernandes, who is, of course, one of the greatest things that has happened to them in recent times. Now, going forward, I'll tell you this. Against the Sevilla side, the coach had already sacked them. He told them, look, Man U is the biggest club in Europe, which is a very funny thing, because as of now, we all know Man U has had their own share of their troubles. But the one thing that I understand is this: Sevilla is, I think they won it 5 times, and Man U going in, they know how.
All All right, welcome back. That was Soso Manuel, Mr. Cyril. Sevilla, not like they had a lot of chances to, seal up that game. They just took the little chances they had. Why Manchester United? I think we saw Anthony Martial missing one-on-one twice, back-to-back.
Well, I think, like he mentioned there, they were taken to some kind of false hope that they were the best in Europe and one of the biggest teams in Europe, and I think it affected them. But again, I think there was issues with selection. The coach didn't really put himself wear some kind of gown of glory, because if you're having problem in the squad, you have to make changes. He made changes so late in the game, and you could not get any results out of that. And so I feel Sevilla, everybody knows that they are masters of this competition. That's Europa League. They have a very good pedigree. They've won it 5 times, and so they have the mentality for it, and they play to the last. We've seen situation where they score their goals at the last moments of the game.
Exactly.
And that's it. Manchester United, yes, they did their best. You're aware that in the earlier parts of the second half, they could have wrapped up the game, but they didn't do that. They didn't pick their chances, especially with Martial and the others in the attack. So you understand now why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is really looking out for an out-and-out a striker or a goal scorer, because the team don't seem to be picking it all completely. But I don't know why you have to keep somebody like
Igalo.
This is a game where he can come and take the chance.
Yes.
Or get the ball right into the back of the net. Not about how you play, but just putting the ball into the net. But he delayed so long and brought him on very late into the game. So I think it's a combination of average, players not coming to form on the night, because we've seen Manchester United coming to this match, they've had a very good result, but on the night they just didn't perform. Pogba was in the shadow of himself, and Martial didn't take the chances he got. Greenwood as well. So it's unfortunate that they didn't really come to the party on the night, and we saw Atletico Madrid take their own chance, and that was it. Football is about taking your chance.
Yeah, taking your chance. All right, viewers, now the game between Shakhtar Donetsk, Inter Milan versus Shakhtar Donetsk is half-time right now with Inter Milan 1 goal up. All right, away from that now, let's take a look at the fixtures for the next stage of the UEFA Champions League. Quickly, in one minute, let's talk about RB Leipzig versus PSG. What do you think?
Very difficult game to call. The two coaches are exciting coaches. 12 years ago, they were reserve coaches with the Augsburg team in Germany. They've gone out and they're down. We have a coach in Julian, the coach of Leipzig, which is the youngest coach that is in the semi-final of the Champions League. And so they will go out there and give their best, But looking at PSG, they have Mbappe, who is back now for, it's
danger man.
Yes. And of course, combining with Neymar, they are dangerous on counter attack. And so we want to see. Both teams score late goals. So it means that they know what it means to play to the last blast of the whistle.
Exactly.
So it's really, really difficult to call, but it's fairy tale. This is the second time we are seeing Leipzig in the Champions League, and the first time, and of course the first time in the semi-final. They could just play on to the final. If what I call them, PSG now wants to underrate them, but it's difficult because I see a situation where the goalkeeper for PSG, Kevin Navas, is out because of the injury he got in the last game, and so the reserve goalkeeper coming in, will he be able to give his very best, in the circumstance? But we'll keep our fingers crossed. Last time they were in the semi-final of the Champions League was about 15 years ago, and so they too must get their best.
Let's quickly talk now about the second game, Bayern Munich versus Lyon. Now, Bayern Munich is a team that scores goals with ease, and then a Lyon side that has great character and ability to sustain till the last moment.
But I think if you want to watch the best of this year's Champions League, then you must keep your eye on this Olympic Lyon versus Bayern Munich, a team that both parade very young players that are ready to play and give their very best. So it looks like if we are going to go into other time in this competition, this is the fixture that will throw us into an extra time of play, because both teams are they are teams that start and want to end the game even after the game has finished. This will be good advertisement for UEFA Champions League.
All right, just quickly, in 1 minute of 45 seconds, just give us Sports Bleep record for the night.
Well, I really don't know how old you were, but I can tell you that in about 71 years and 2 days today, that was when we saw the Nigerian national football team travel for a good week game, and the travel from Nigeria took them 14 days to honor the fixture.
Wow.
You want to ask why 14 days? Because they had to go by ship, and they left their Papa port and arrived Liverpool 14 days after they left Apapa port in Lagos. And you must see something funny. The players had to run around the deck every morning to keep fit for the match they were going to play. So
a very funny one.
Now you have to leave. Maybe you are going to London. In 6 hours you've arrived.
Yeah, I've arrived.
But they took 14 days. The national football team. I remember Tim Henshaw. That was the captain of the team. The days of Anosike. There was a Dokubo from River State here. You know, a lot of exciting players were part of Teslin Balogu.
Yeah.
Were part of that team that traveled for 14 days. You know, to get to their match venue.
Quite a funny one, Mr. Siri. All right, away from that, I will have two birthday shout-outs and then a particular wonderful wedding anniversary. But let's start with the first birthday shout-out, and that's the person of Mrs. Paye Nora. Happy birthday to you, Ma. We love you so much. From here, all of us here at Sports Bleep Live Salvation TV, we want to say happy birthday to you. Many, many returns. May God grant you more fruitful years in Jesus' mighty name. We love you. All right, the second birthday shout out we have tonight is Miracle Favor. Happy birthday to you, Miracle Favor, a daughter of Zion, someone that loves God so much and very beautiful, as you can see her with her wonderful smile. She's a daughter of David Ibimi as well, you know. Right. So happy birthday to you, Miracle Favor. We wish you God's blessings and many returns. Now, the last but not the least, the grand finale. Happy 24th anniversary celebration of our Father in the Lord, David Ibiomie, the man that has blessed us greatly, the man whose ministry has turned lives around, who has particularly, he's been a blessing to me, particularly because sometime in 2015, he sent, you know, the commission sponsored few youths to Israel, you know, one of whom I was. It was a privilege, and I enjoyed myself during that trip, and this man has been a blessing to us all. We really need to...
blessing to millions around you.
To millions of us. Mr. Siri, you have a thing or two to say?
I can only say that the best of marital bliss is yet to come for Papa and Mama, because you can see them, they are radiating with smiles, with young David as well. And
yes.
wish them heavenly blessings, and we ask God to bless them really good.
Yeah, God bless you, Papa. Happy anniversary to you. We love you so much from all of us here at Sports Bleep Live. Happy 24th anniversary. All right, viewers, that's the much you can take for the night from here at Salvation TV Sports Bleep Live. My name is Prince Wally, your chief servant. It's been an amazing time here with you. See you again sometime next week. Bye-bye. Stay safe and God bless you.